Hello! Of all the members of the animal kingdom, none is more dangerous than the law. Mosquitoes are classified as the greatest killer of humanity by far from any other member of the animal kingdom. In principle, mosquitoes kill at least 1 million people annually. This is not the number of injured, which is estimated at hundreds of millions. Hence, a question arises. What would happen if all the mosquitoes disappeared? But before we start, if you are still new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell so that our videos will reach you first, from the buttons below. The question is, why don't we eliminate all the mosquitoes and get rid of them? He will get another question after him. We really can do something like this. In fact, although humans are really destructive and have caused the destruction of many creatures, when we like to do this story, we mean that we cannot do it. Perhaps the most famous deliberate attempt was the one for which the Swiss scientist Paul Mler received the Nobel Prize for his discovery of DDT. This man made the world imagine that he got rid of harmful insects, especially mosquitoes. But what happened after that? And in less than 10 years, insects began to become immune to pesticides, and the rest of the creatures, including humans, they started paying the price with the new package of diseases that appeared. Plants that were sprayed with pesticides began to transmit diseases to animals and humans who eat them. Because in the end, DDT is banned in most countries of the world. The Nobel Prize in the year 1948 turned out to be the most deserving of insects, not Paul Mueller. After the catastrophic failure of insecticides, people preferred to fight the submissive mosquitoes, and we remained. But we wanted to control their numbers, not breed them. The rest of the control methods varied, such as awareness campaigns and imposing fines on those who create a fertile environment for mosquitoes. In addition, people were encouraged to raise the natural enemies of mosquitoes, such as fish and some fungi. Other methods also appeared to prevent the mosquito from putting its larvae on water, and these control methods had a good effect on controlling their numbers. But in the end, they were methods not suitable for total annihilation. Now, assume that somehow we have actually managed to destroy the law. Is this total extermination originally in our favor or not? Entomologists themselves differ on the answer to this question. Some say that whatever the consequences of the genocide will be, it will not be worse than the current situation. Mosquitoes, as we said, cause the death of 1 million people annually. Either it stayed through malaria, dengue fever, Zika virus, or other diseases that mosquitoes transmit. What does it mean? That will happen more than that? As for the remaining opponents of the idea, they say that in principle, and before we say what can happen, let's say the truth and defend a little. Mosquitoes are no less than 3 different types of mosquitoes. There are only about 40 of them that are considered dangerous and transmit diseases. Rather, even the 40 type of countries, the danger is not from them, except for adult females only. As for the expected effects of the extermination of the mosquito, the first of them is the direct effect of losing the mosquito itself as a prey for some of the animals that eat it. As we said, some fish, including the mosquito fish, depend mainly on mosquitoes for their offspring. This means that this creature's numbers will also be greatly reduced. And the process will start to acknowledge the animal that ate it. There was another animal that was eating it, and the animal that eats it is a third animal that eats it. The chain that begins with the whole law will collapse. This is, however, that it has already hibernated. During the large mosquito control work that took place in America and France, some of the small birds that were attacking it had their ability to ovulate less. Also, it is expected that it will occur with the loss of mosquitoes. The restrictions that will be obtained for the types of plants that mosquitoes participate in their ecological balance. With the exception of the dangerous few people who invade these countries, all other species, including the dangerous species, invade the nectar of plants. They also contribute to the vaccination process. Balsa with aquatic plants that are in places where mosquitoes spread. As long as these plants are captured, the marine life that is present in the same place, and for whom these plants are food, will be captured. Finally, among the effects that will be included in the process of exterminating mosquitoes are scientific influences. But in order to understand this issue, we need to first know how mosquitoes transmit the infection. This transmission of infection is because the mosquito itself has acquired the infection when it sucked the blood of a sick person. Then she goes to another healthy person who throws her needle into him and transmits the disease to him. That's why scientists focus their efforts on a completely new method of combating mosquitoes. It is that they strengthen the immunity of the mosquito itself. If the mosquito has immunity and does not catch the disease, then it will not transmit it. These experiments varied between genetic modifications, mosquito injections with bacteria, or other attempts, and if all the mosquitoes disappeared, then the sensations will not be completed. This is not the case that there are other studies trying to benefit from the ability of mosquitoes to anesthetize. When a mosquito bites you and you don't feel it, it pierces you with a needle or anything else, not even when blood comes out of you. This story can be useful in many applications, including surgical procedures. Mosquitoes also have benefits. That's it. We're done.